Yeah, it becomes more and more mainstream. I think that's what you refer to, right? And the thing for smaller companies which don't have those big marketing budgets is they need to be creative and inventive with interesting, in the consumer business, fun things that catch the attention of people in whichever channel there are. There are good examples these days in Instagram of very small companies who have bright ideas and they get views like crazy. So it's not just how much money you can invest in something, but also how creative the idea is. And then you don't need the 7 million marketing budget. You can do something very nice with a smaller budget. If there are still people, yes. But what you... In the street, yes, of course. What you can do then we go back from voice, we can go back to augmented reality. And then the entry barrier is really, really, really low these days. You don't need to do an app anymore for something that is augmented reality. And you can augment the experience of somebody who walks on the street and sees something. The person can take out his or her phone, point the camera at something, and then something starts to live. I can show you later on with the logo that we have here. It's pretty simple, and that's how you can attract people to do something. If you're a coffee shop down the street here, there's a little logo in front of your coffee shop, you tell people point your phone at it, and then all of a sudden a cappuccino grows out of the of that little logo. You better be sure people go in and want just that espresso or that cappuccino. So that's not that expensive anymore. Here in Switzerland, the examples are very few, but over in the US, there are more and more examples of augmented reality. One example is Warby Parker, the people who produce glasses that they send home. They have a little app that you can use on your phone, and you hold it in front of your face and you pick a glass, a frame, and then the phone shows you how you look, how your face looks with these glasses or these frames, and then you can only order these frames back home. Or IKEA in the US, in their normal print catalog that they have, you can use a tab, you can use a phone or a tablet, point it at the catalog on a table, and then you can take the table and put it in the room, and you see if it fits into the room, if the color fits, if you like to position it there or there, if another model is nice, and all you need to do afterwards is just hit one button and order. So these examples are not here in Switzerland yet, but they will come. The wave is approaching, and we here actually are persuaded that augmented reality will be here in Switzerland faster, and it will be bigger than virtual reality. It's interesting. That's a good question. I think for the next 1 to 2 years, most probably yes. We start to see fun things like the foldable phone that now came back again. There's been talk of OLED displays that you can roll. That talk has been around for quite a while. I don't know if that will happen. The next version of the HoloLens will definitely not be as bulky anymore as this one. It will be out next year. The question is what the form factor will be. It's very well possible that it will fit into a normal glass. Maybe a little anode on the side, but everything became so small and so simple that there are good chances that in 2 to 3 years your augmented reality display or device is just your glasses. That's very well possible. If you have a piece of iron, you can either make some forks or knives, or you can make some weapons. So it's the same thing here. You can use it for good or you can use it for bad. Here in the Western world, I think we have a good situation, and I am pretty sure that we would regulate ourselves, or the people would just not use things if they were used against them. It's different in China, definitely. I think that's the example how we shouldn't do it. Fully agree with you, definitely. But I think we need to take even a step back and look at how literate the people are in using these new technology, especially older people who are not digital natives or immigrants, my parents, your parents. We need to pay very much attention that we don't lose people who are not as literate as we are, and we need to make sure that they are able to follow the trends and to really use those new tools and technologies. That's the bad example. The good example is just think how easy it has become to have a conf call, as we used to call it in the earlier days, with somebody who's not near. So if you want to see your parents, it's a FaceTime click, it's a Skype call, and it doesn't matter if you're in Australia and you're calling home or if you're just across the street. So there's also positive aspects, but people need to be able to use them, they need to understand them. We need to tell them that they should be careful but not afraid. And I think that's the big thing that society, everybody, all of us, and also the big brands need to do. That is actually something that we do. We see brands who are aware of the fact that this is part of their brand identity. Other brands or companies are not there yet, so we try to show them why it's important. And we need to pick up everybody at the stage where they are in their journey of digital transformation internally and externally, and guide them through the way from where they are to where their strategy should take them. Yes, absolutely, that's part of what we do in our change efforts that we work on with some clients. Yes. Yes, we do have strategy, but it varies from industry sector to industry sector and from company to company, of course. It's not, in general, you can say it's going to be like X, Y, Z in N years, because it really matters or differs where the company is today, which industry they are in, and how far the change is going to come, or how fast the change is going to come in their industry. And the key things there is to take all their employees along. It's change. Change causes fear, so we need to be careful. Also the same thing with the clients, their customers. They need to understand and they need to be able to follow the change that a brand or a company does. And yes, we have a team here that works only on change, and they are quite busy. By and far, I don't think so. No, there's no. There's in all regions and in all cities or out on the countryside, there are companies which are further ahead or companies which are not that far yet. So it doesn't matter where they really are.